What's going on YouTube? It is Repulse, back with another video. In today's video, we asked ChatGPT about every Chelsea player. Um, yeah, and this is what it gave me. So to begin, we have our goalkeepers to begin. Obviously Robert Sanchez is our number one. It says that Robert Sanchez's tenure as Chelsea's first choice goalkeeper has been marked by a blend of commendable performances and notable inconsistencies. Since joining from Brighton and Hove Albion in 2023, Sanchez has showcased his shot-stopping prowess, earning accolades such as the Premier League Save of the Season awards in September 2023 and October 2024. His height and agility make for a formidable presence in aerial duels when dealing with crosses. Then he goes into the bad stuff, saying his distribution under pressure has been a point of contention. In the last season, Sanchez committed several errors leading directly to goals, ranking him among the most error-prone goalkeepers in the Premier League. However, he continued to have Enzo Maresca's trust, emphasizing the team's commitment to a possession-based style that involves the goalkeeper building up from the back. However, the supporters have expressed mixed feelings, um, with some, applauding his resilience and critical saves, while others say that he's inconsistent and his decision making isn't good. Um, However, the Club World Cup gives an opportunity for Sanchez to solidify his position as the number one. And it says in summary that he possesses the physical attributes and shot-stopping abilities to be a top-tier goalkeeper. However, his challenges with his distribution and consistency suggest that while he has the potential, he has yet to fully meet the high expectations of Chelsea, which I agree with, to be honest. This isn't really me arguing or siding with or not with ChatGPT, but in this case, I do agree. I think that um, he is a really good shot stopper at the goalkeeper position, but I think he does have a long way to go if he wants to meet Chelsea's expectations, especially with his decision making. Moving on to Mike Penders, they say Mike Penders is a promising young goalkeeper who's caught the attention of Chelsea fans since he's standing at 6'7". He is known for his commanding presence in the box and his ability to make crucial saves. He has notable performances at Genk, and he has demonstrated leadership qualities despite his limited senior experience, captaining both the Genk's reserve team and the Belgium's U19 side. It says we secured a signature in a 20 million euro deal. And he may not immediately displace the established goalkeepers at Chelsea, but Pender's development is one to watch. His blend of physical attributes, leadership, and shot-stopping ability positions him as a potential future star for the club. These are the notes that I make on each one. It shows what I think of, or what I interpreted ChatGPT, so that's pretty much what we'll go with in the next couple slides. So, he was tall, promising young goalkeeper. He was a leader. He's one to watch and a potential future star. Basically, a summary of what this said. So Joshua Chiampong, ChatGPT said he was an exciting talent. He already showcased massive potential. He's a resilient player. He can play multiple roles. He's got Enzo Maresca's backing. He's composed and mature, and he's a key future piece to our side. Um, you can see it says Achiampong's a promising defender whose blend of versatility, maturity, and composure under pressure positions him as a key figure in Chelsea's offensive future. And then the backing came here when it says Maresca has expressed strong confidence in Achayampong's abilities. Um, so yeah, that is Josh Achayampong. Really exciting talent. I really, really like the profile. And I hope he gets more game time next season in the Easy Champions League and Prem matches, because we are going to need to rotate with the amount of games we have. And hopefully he plays on Friday against Flamengo. But moving on to another right back, we have Malagusto. ChatGPT says that he's a good attacker. He brings versatility to the Chelsea side, struggling to adjust in Maresca's tactics. You can see, where is it? Fans have expressed concerns over his recent performance, noticing a decline on his impact on matches. And under Enzo Maresca, Gusto has been utilized in the inverted fullback roles, which may not align with his natural strength. This tactical shift has led to mixed performance and limited on his effectiveness. So that's why I'm saying he's struggling to adjust. He's inconsistent. However, um, Maresca has seemed to back him. He has the potential to regain form, and he can become a mainstay in the side in the future. Again, if he adjusts to that tactic. Um, Moving on to our captain, Reece James. ChatGPT says that that's supposed to say gifted. He's a gifted defender. He's a complete defender. He's a physical, technical, and versatile defender. However, he's very injury prone. It says it pretty much throughout this entire paragraph that he's very injury prone. However, he is a vital figure at Chelsea because obviously he's our captain. He's been experimented under Maresca, central midfield role, and he has the potential to be one of the best in Europe if he's able to stay healthy. Um, yeah, you can read this while I'm reading my notes, but this is pretty much everything that this is saying. Um, I agree. I think James is going to be one of the best right backs in Europe, and is if he's just able to stay healthy. Um, yeah, he is experimented in the central midfielder role, recognizing his football intelligence and adaptability. Um, yeah, I agree. I think he has been experimented under Maresca, but I think that's to preserve his fitness. Don't really want him bombing when he's physically incapable, so he's being experimented in the central midfield role, which is what ChatGPT made note of. Moving on to the center halves, we have Aaron Anselmino to start. ChatGPT said that he's a very exciting player. He's a very technical player. He has a strong mentality. He's instinctful. He's composed. He's good aerially. He's very intelligent. He has a good temperament, and he's a leader. Um, don't know how they have that much data. Guess they really liked his Boca Junior days because he hasn't really played for Chelsea all that much. But I agree. If you watch his full 90s at Boca Juniors, he's very technical. He's good with both feet. Um, and he's very intelligent. He's really good at finding those line breaking passes. So I do think he does have a future here at this club. Um, but as it quoted here somewhere, oh yeah, it said that Chelsea recalled Anselmino. Maresca made it clear that the club had high hopes for him, but he would be eased into English football gradually. Anselmino's move as a new world for the defender, emphasizing his importance of adapting to the Premier League's pace and physicality without being rushed. That's why we didn't see him much last season, but I expect him to see him a little bit in the Club World Cup. But I do think he is a very good player, so I am excited to actually watch him. Moving on to Mamadou Sarr, our new incoming. ChatGPT says that he is a promising player, composed defender, driver in terms of driver of the football. He's able to progress the ball very well. Needs to improve aerially. He aligns to what Maresca's ideals are, Maresca's tactics. Going to have limited involvement this season for Chelsea, but he's a potential key figure at the center half position. I think it's pretty spot on here. I think he's really good at driving the ball. I think he was really good for Strasbourg last season. Obviously, he was out on loan. Um, we bought him. I don't know if we bought him like prior to last season and just loaned him out to Strasbourg, or if he was one of the ones that we just bought from Strasbourg directly. But yeah, I agree with everything ChatGPT says here. And excuse me, it is 1:15 in the morning and I'm recording this. But moving on to Levi Colwill, it says that he's a pivotal figure in our side. He has technical prowess, which basically means he's very good as a center back in the passing category with the ball at his feet. Really good ball playing defender, which I think is true. He's really good under the Maresca system, but he's also impressive defensively, which is something he's definitely grown at. He's grown into a leaner. A leaner. I mean, he's grown into a leader. He's become more reliable, and he's a very influential figure in the Chelsea squad, both personally and in Maresca's tactical prowess. So yeah, that is what it says on Levi Colwill, and I pretty much agree. I think he's one of our best players, one of our most influential players, and I actually bought his jersey. Um, don't know if you'll follow my Twitter. If you don't, it's Mariska's Era on Twitter. You'll see the picture that I bought the new 25-26 jersey with Levi Colwill's name on the back. But moving on to tossing out a Ravallo. Um, it's a ChatGPT said that Tossin was a commanding presence, obviously due to his height. Um, it said that he helped us out both aerially in set piece situations, defensively, and in the attacking force. Um, it said contentment, that he was content on not playing much due to Badiashile and Fafana getting more game time, which I don't agree with. I think he got more game time than them. Obviously, Fafana got injured. Um, Excuse me. Oh, and Chalaba. That's the other name I was missing. It said he was a leader, and then it compared him to John Terry, if I can find it. Yeah, in terms of leadership, Adarabioyo has been recognized for his vocal presence on and off the pitch, drawing comparisons to former Chelsea captain John Terry, which I don't know, it's AI, dude. You just kind of got to go with the flow with it sometimes. But then it says he's a capable defender for Chelsea's level. Um, right here it says he just demonstrated his value to Chelsea through his defensive capabilities. Um, I do think he's a capable defender. I think he's someone that's good for the squad, good to have in. I think he is a leader. I just don't think he's really John Terry. Don't know where I got that, but whatever. We'll just move on to the next player. Wesley Fofana, it says that he's injury prone. He has a high potential and uncertain future, but he has an undeniable talent. It talked a lot about a potential loan to Marseille, uh, which I don't know. I guess they said he really wants to rebuild his confidence, and he can do that there, which sure, whatever. Let the AI do its thing. But it said that was why I put uncertain future because it kept talking about a loan. But it said, yeah, obviously he has a high potential. Um, because Maresca has expressed his admiration for Fofana's potential, referring to him as a huge loss. Um, yeah, I think he's very injury prone though, and it pretty much noted that the entire time. Moving on to the left back in Marco Corella. It said that he resurged. He's a very versatile player. He's a really good all around player. Good work ethic, good work ethic, um, good leader, very good at adapting, and he's a cornerstone player to the Chelsea side. Um, the adaptability came in the tactical flexibility. Um, his ability to adapt to various tactical setups and consistent performances is why I put adaptability down there. But I pretty much agree with everything ChatGPT said about Marco Varela. I think the resurgence um, happened halfway through the 2023-2024 season rather than this last season. When Pochettino started inverting the fullback, I think Cucurella started to get a lot better. Um, but yeah, that's what it has to say on Marco Cucurella. I think it's very spot on. And so now we move on to the midfield where it's Dario Sugo kicking things off. ChatGPT described Dario Sugo as a promising player. They said he's a physical player who breaks up play. They compared him to Moises Caicedo, and he would be valuable depth to Chelsea. You can see here. Um, oh no, he has been compared to the players like Moises Caicedo and William Carvalho. Um, yeah, I mean, pretty spot on. He's a shin kicker. I don't think Caicedo's quite a shin kicker. I think he's more of a shin kicker than Caicedo is, but ChatGPT's been pretty spot on with these descriptions so far. Besides the John Terry comparison. Um, Moving on to Andre Santos, they described him as a promising young talent. Um, and that he's a dynamic box-to-box midfielder, scoring 10 goals and 5 assists in 27 appearances. They said he was pivotal to Strasbourg's success in pursuit of Europe when they got the Conference League. He has rapid development, especially with making Brazil's first team. He's an ambitious midfielder because apparently they said we are looking for a move to sell him for significant profit, but that's not really true. We know he's staying. Even Todd Bowley's came out and said he's staying. But um, he said he expressed his desire to remain at Chelsea, emphasizing his ambition, and that he's a standout midfielder everywhere he plays, which I agree with. I think Andre Santos is definitely going to be in the first team next season and find himself playing a lot of minutes. Um, and I think if we sell one of the midfielders, he's the next one to step in and play a big role because I don't think we're ever getting rid of Caicedo, but I do think Santos can um, become an Enzo. Moving on to Romeo Lavia. Um, they didn't really have much to say about him, which surprised me, but they said that he was very injury prone. He had massive potential. He needs to maintain his fitness to compete with the likes of Enzo and Caicedo, and he's a potential key figure in the side if he continues to develop and stay healthy. Um, I don't know. They didn't really praise Lavia for his actual playing abilities. I think he's a really good press resistant midfielder who's able to break the lines as well as slow down play very well. So that is my summary on Romeo Lavia, not ChatGPT's. This is theirs, but I'm just talking about him as a player, able to break the lines, able to resist the press, and really help us get out of those tight situations. So now I feel comfortable moving on because I'm actually touching on Lavia as a player. To Moises Caicedo. They said that Caicedo is a dominant midfielder. He's an all around contributor, both defensively, offensively. Um, They said he's really good at supporting the offense as well as helping out the defense. Good support on both ends. He has a relentless work ethic, which basically just means he's the engine of the team. Um, he's a leader, and I think that was very apparent if you watched the game against LAFC. He was pretty much shouting the entire time. Um, I know there were barely any fans there, so I could hear it from. Uh, I could hear it from the TV. Um, but yeah, he was shouting the entire game, and even if you just like watched him walk around the pitch, you could see him constantly screaming out to players, directing them on what to do. And lastly, it says he's consistent. I agree. I think he's our most consistent player. Him or Mark Cucurella are our most consistent players. Always going to give you a 7. Most likely going to give you a 9. That's what both of them do. They're that good. A bad performance for them is a 7. Um, so yeah, that's what ChatGPT has to say about Moises Caicedo. And moving on to our goal scoring midfielder from last season, we have Enzo Fernandez, who had too many boxes that we literally had to outline it because the lights were getting in the way. Um, they said he was a central figure to Chelsea's midfield. He's a very versatile player, able to play that deep lying playmaker role, able to play the box to box midfielder role. Um, He's a leader. Obviously took over the captain's armband when Reece James left, and that's what it referred to there. He dictates tempo very well for a midfielder. Pretty much controls the game at that position. He's an incisive passer, able to find those passes on the ground that people are able to just pick up and run with. However, he's bad defensively, but he's the heartbeat of our team, and he's a very mature player, which I agree with. I think for his age, especially, he's a very mature player. So I'm happy to see ChatGPT give praise to Enzo Fernandez because I think everything that it said was pretty accurate. I do think he needs to improve defensively, but I do think he's the heartbeat of our midfield. Really the glue, and you could tell how much more creative we got after Enzo Fernandez entered the pitch on Monday against LAFC. Moving on to the wingers, we have Pedro Neto. In ChatGPT described him as versatile, technical, creative. They said that he is a precise crosser. He's an incisive passer. He has a good work ethic. I don't know why I can't say that tonight. And he's very good defensively with his awareness. Good tracking back, basically consistently tracks back. The work ethic I agree with. Presses like no other. Um, Even in the Club World Cup match against LAFC, he pressed like no other. Incisive passer, I don't really agree with. I don't think he plays those intricate balls on the ground. I do think he's a very precise crosser, though. I don't know if he's creative, but I do think he is versatile. Technical, not really, but if ChatGPT describes it as that, I'll give him that. This is their video at the end of the day, not mine. You know. So we'll just move on to Nani Madueke, who they described him as a dynamic attacker who has had significant growth over the seasons. He is direct, he is fast, he is technical. Um, that's supposed to say inconsistent. You can see it was halfway there, but they're missing this stint. Whatever. Um, I agree though. I think he is very inconsistent. Um, he is a really good talent at the end of the day, but I think he really needs to show out in games better. Um, Yeah, I think he has all the talent in the world to succeed at Chelsea. I don't know if that's now. I think that could be in the future. I think we could sell him with the buyback option, and I'd be very happy with that because I think he can mold into a top player, just isn't really at that level right now. Um, I think he needs to mature a lot. I think he needs to grow a lot, and I think he needs to become both footed as well as a little more level headed, like knowing what decision to make when to make that decision. Um, But yeah, I think he is a dynamic attacker who has shown significant growth. But I think there is a lot more growth than just significant growth for him to make. But I do agree he's very direct, he's very fast, he's very technical. I think one of our most technical wingers. So that's what ChatGPT says about Nani Madueke. Moving on to our wonder kid here in Esteval Willian. And that's what ChatGPT described him as, a wonder kid. They also compared him to Lionel Messi due to his dribbling ability, his vision, his composure, as well as his maturity. Didn't have as much to say about Esteval as I thought they would. Um, Talks about the deal, talks about his goal and assist tallies, as well as why he's being compared to Messi, and then shows what Angelo Maresca's plan for him is. But these are the traits that they described in Esteval Willian. Really excited for him to come through the door. Really showed out for Palmeiras against Porto in that group stage match. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to him coming in because I do think we desperately need a winger, and I think he could just come in and start right away. Um, but that's what they have to say about Esteval. That he's a wonder kid, next to Lionel Messi apparently, because of his dribbling ability, because of his vision, because of his composure, and that he's very mature for his age. Moving on to our other youngster winger in Tyreek George, ChatGPT said that he is a promising talent. He's an impactful player for us. He's versatile. Obviously, that's because he played right wing, left wing, attacking mid, striker for us last season. Full false nine against Man United. He started there. Also came on against Fulham, played false nine, scored a goal. One of the best goals of the season, in my opinion, or maybe not best, but most impactful goals of the season. Um, but they say he has good ball skills, rapid progress, which is basically rapid development, which I agree with, but I do think he needs to become more physical as a winger if he wants to succeed in the Prem. But they say that he has an important role to play for Chelsea in this upcoming season. Um, which I mean, I agree with if he stays. I think he could very well go out on loan, especially if we bring in two left wingers. Um, but I do think he does have an important role to play if it's only Gittins that comes through the door. I think Tyreek's the backup while he develops physically, and I think he could become a good player based off that. Um, moving on to the attacking mids or tens, false nines, whatever you want to call them, we have Christopher Nkunku. ChatGPT said that he was marred by injury, that he's misaligned by Maresca. He's an experimental player. That he's experimented in various roles as well, such as the winger, um, central midfield, central striker, central attacking mid. Basically, just playing every single position there is on the pitch besides defense. And Caicedo's engine role. Um, that's why they say experiment, but they say he's inconsistent. He has restricted opportunities due to Cole Palmer taking up that 10 spot, which is his so-called um, natural position. And they talk about him looking for a move, and they say that you can't um, hide the talent that Christopher Nkunku has, but he just might need a move away from the club, which I agree with. I do think his injuries came at a very bad time. I think it could look a lot different if Christopher Nkunku was fully fit last season for him at Chelsea. I don't really know about the misaligned. I just think he doesn't really fit in the system. I don't think that's misalignment. I just think there is no proper alignment for Christopher Nkunku here. Don't play two strikers, don't have the shadow striker role, so he's really not going to fit here. So I think it is best for him to look for a move. Um, so yeah, that is what ChatGPT says about Christopher Nkunku. Moving on to our other central attacking midfielder, our mainstay guy in Cole Palmer, which, as you can see, ChatGPT had a lot to say about. They said that he's our standout performer. He's a very clinical player. He's a pivotal player. He's instrumental to our success. They talk about his dip in form from the second half of last season. Um, However, he performs in high pressure. They give the Conference League as an example of that, where he had those two assists. Obviously, helped us spark that comeback to that 4-1 victory after we were 1-0 down. He had those two assists to bring us 2-1 up. They say he's a very technical player and he's a very composed player. Um, I agree. I mean, there's nothing really bad to say about Cole Palmer. He's been our best player since he's came to the club. Obviously, Caicedo and Cucurella had better seasons than him last season, but I still think he's our best player, undoubtedly. Don't think anyone can really argue with that. So yeah, that's what ChatGPT has to say on Cole Palmer. Now moving on to the true number nines, we start out with Mark Guiu. ChatGPT says that Mark Guiu has had limited opportunity at Chelsea, but he's a physical striker. They compared him to Samuel Eto'o, if I can find it. Yeah. Um, Guiu is known for his physical presence, standing at 1.89 meters, and his ability to hold up the ball and finish efficiently in the box. He has been compared to former Barcelona striker Samuel Eto'o for his style of play. I guess that's that physical play, able to hold up the ball and finish if given the opportunity. They say that he excited Chelsea fans with his performances in the Conference League, which I think is true. I think everyone's pretty much looking forward to Mark Guiu's development in the future, and they say he is a promising talent, um, which I agree with. It talks a lot about his Barcelona days, how he scored his first goal 33 seconds in. Um, so yeah, that's what I had to say about Mark Guiu. I pretty much agree. I do think he's an exciting player. I think he's a promising talent. I think he's very physical, especially for his age, but I would like to see him develop a little bit more into a all-around striker. So I think a loan would be good for him, especially if we bring another one in this summer, just so he can develop while we have three strikers able to play all those games that we have this season, which is going to be around 60 at the very least. So yeah, moving on to our other number nine in Nicholas Jackson. Um, that's not supposed to have an E. We'll just put this over there. ChatGPT said that Nicholas Jackson is a pivotal player to us. He's more clinical and composed, which I don't really know how it got there, but you know what? If it says it, it says it. Nicholas Jackson's a clinical striker, apparently. He's instrumental to our success last season, which I know people are going to be like, no, but yes, he very much was. You could see how bad we were without him when he was hurt for those couple of months. He was instrumental to our success. He's a big reason why we finished fourth. They say he's a consistent threat, which I don't agree with. I think he can shy away in games sometimes. They say he's a dynamic attacker. I think so. And he's a dependable striker, which I don't agree with at all. But that's what ChatGPT has to say about Nicholas Jackson. You can read the entire thing right here. Um, yeah, I don't really agree with most of it. I do think he was instrumental to our success. I do think he was a somewhat consistent threat at some points of the season, especially at the beginning. Um, but towards the end, he really just was a lackluster striker. Um, not dependable at all, not dynamic at all, not a threat at all. Wasn't clinical at all, wasn't composed at all. But he was a pivotal player and he was instrumental to our success last season, so I'll give him that. And then moving on to our last player of the video, obviously our new incoming in Liam Delap. ChatGPT described Liam Delap as a promising young striker who has significant potential. They say he's very physical, he's very intelligent, he's very clinical, and this really hurt me when I read it. But they compared him to Romelu Lukaku in terms of his style. Um, because of his well-timed runs in the box, as well as his ability to hold off defenders. They talked about him overperforming his XG, about how Maresca used to work with him, about his adaptability in the Club World Cup, um, and they said that he would be a valuable addition to the squad. So that is every single player we are covering in this video. Definitely took a while to put together, especially this entire like presentation type thing that we had, making the notes, reading through every single player, putting the players in the system. Definitely took a while to make. So if you did enjoy this video, please be sure to give it a like, leave it a comment. Um, yeah, because this content does take a while to set up, and it's 1:40 in the morning. It's really not easy for me to record right now, but you know we made it through. Good quality of the video as well. So you know, pretty pleased with that. But if you did enjoy this video, please be sure to like and subscribe. Um, you know, little goes a long way. We are inching ever so closer to 50 subscribers, which is a milestone to me. Something I am trying to achieve by the end of the month. So if you can, please subscribe. It's free and it goes a long way for me. But yeah, that is everything. I do hope you enjoy this video. And as always, it is Repulse, and I'm out. Peace.